an issue that I raised more than once in relation to state investment through the Irish Strategic Investment Fund in Israel war bonds. And I'd ask you to be very specific about this now. I got the figure in a written reply for 2023, and we had to wait for 2024. What was that figure? What's the figure for 25? And explain to me how we're investing in war bonds when genocide is taking place.
The
Ireland Strategic Investment Fund is a €16.6 million fund comprising the discretionary portfolio of €8.9 billion and the directed portfolio of €7.7 billion based on the 2024 annual report. It has a double bottom line mandate to invest in a commercial basis in a manner designed to support economic activity and employment in Ireland. ISIF has complete independence in implementing its investment strategy. At year-end in 2024, ISIF held €3.6 million in Israeli sovereign debt. ISIF monitors all of its holding within its investment portfolio to ensure alignment with its risk profile and investment parameters. As regards to the divestment, I'd say, and I've said before, that geopolitical tensions had been rising across the Middle East, posing an increased risk to assets with economic exposure in the region. ISIF's view is that the escalation of the Israel-Iran conflict in June of this year, the current situation carried materially greater risk, and I'm advised that given this, ISIF determined that the risk profile of a number of sovereign bond holdings in the region were no longer within their investment parameters, and following that determination, they sold their holdings of sovereign debt issued by Jordan, Egypt and Israel.
I'm glad they have divested of their investment. But Minister, I got a written reply for 2023 that was €2.62 million. That was the year Hamas crossed the border, and that's the year Israel started on its genocide following that. Then in 24, as the genocide continued and worsened, this state invested more money in the bonds. Not an awful lot, but increased it up to €3.62 million. You seem to be unaware of that when there was a Sinn Féin a motion here in relation to how the prospectus works. And I specifically mentioned the reply I had got, €2.62 million. Now, I might have got you wrong, Minister, but I understood from you shaking your head that you didn't know, or you were saying the opposite to me, that we didn't invest. So at the time that we were discussing the central bank, you led me to believe, or you didn't know, that we were directly investing in war bonds. And not alone did we do that, but we then increased it in 24. So I'd like you now to be very specific with me in relation to your involvement in that decision.
As I said, I do not play a role in determining the investment decisions that ISIF make. They're made independently of me. This decision was made by ISIF in the way I've just explained to the Deputy.
If I could use the time you haven't used, I would say that you might have nothing to do with them, and I accept that, not might, they're an independent body. However, you do have an opinion, and you're part of a government that says genocide has taken place, and you stood over a situation where either a lack of knowledge or otherwise you couldn't tell me how much money was being invested. Suddenly now we have information. When I asked the written reply, I wasn't told for 2024. Now I'm being told that there is a divestment of that. I'm asking you straight, Minister, how you as a minister in a government can stand over a government investing in war bonds. The Secretary-General of the UN has told us what we are witnessing in Gaza is a level of death and destruction that has no parallel in recent times, and it is something that undermines the most basic conditions of human dignity for the population of Gaza, independently of the enormous suffering they're having, and we're investing in that genocide.